I'm in Detroit, or some part of Detroit, and I never really poked around in this part of the world before, but there are parts of Detroit that are a dump, and there are parts that are freakishly attractive, and one of the freakishly attractive areas is called Point Blank, or Grosse Point. Grosse Point, that's it, Grosse. Absolutely gorgeous, and I was driving through one of the Beirut parts of Detroit, and I said there was a Kroger grocery store, and it's only 3 miles away, and I'm like, not safe having a grocery store around here. And then I got the neighborhood, and it was like, whoa, I mean, it was gorgeous. Grosse Point, a late run, oh boy, you're in a hurry, yesterday, and I had a 8 o'clock in the morning delivery, auto parts, and I got to the delivery location, and it was 1:30 in the morning, and it didn't look like, the auto manufacturers run 24 hours a day. That's perfect. What happened to mine? There it goes. The GPS is freaking out. The auto manufacturers run, you get in there, pick up, drop off, they're always there. Weekends, doesn't really matter. So I get there at 1:30 in the morning, and it does not look like a regular pickup location. It looks like old business offices that hadn't been used and were somewhat in disarray, kind of messy. And there was some construction going on, so I called my dispatcher and I said, hey, this is a mess. I don't think this is the right place. And they said, well, you're not supposed to be there till 8 o'clock in the morning. And I said, yeah, but I don't think this is the right location to drop off, so I need maybe some more information where I'm actually supposed to go with load. And it was, well, wait till 8 in the morning, here's the phone number. I was like, that's not the time you start searching for the location when it's supposed to be arriving. Well, that's exactly what happened, and it was a series of phone calls that nobody answered. And then I got sent all over the world. I finally got my load dropped late because they made me wait till I was late. And then my big Laredo run, my Detroit to Laredo weekend run that I was so excited about, got yanked out from under me because of the time on it. They didn't call me and say, hey, are you going to make it? They just took it. So I missed out on a glorious Laredo run, which put me in a very pissy mood for quite a long time. I went and got gas and was hanging around, and I get a call for, wait for it, a Laredo run. So I get all excited, and I put everything away, and I jump in the van, and I drive about halfway there, and they call me and go, oh, just kidding, that was a ghost double order for the same load that you just lost. So the emotional roller coaster of having a big, long weekend run got me twice. So and I just pulled into this really, really, really nice neighborhood in Grosse Point, north side of Detroit, kind of in Detroit, but not along the water. And I was hanging out in a really nice neighborhood in the shade, and I just got a call. I am going to Marshall, Michigan, which is about 100 miles to the west of Detroit, and I'm grabbing a 275-pound box, and I am heading somewhere in Tennessee direct tonight. So I got a lot of driving ahead of me, which is good and bad because I'm running on about 3 hours of sleep right now. So we'll see what happens. But I am now back in the middle of Detroit, boogieing south, and I'm getting ready to turn off on 96 west towards Lansing. And I very much like coming up to this part of the country in the summers or when it's hot because it's cooler up here. So I'm going back to Stickyville in Tennessee right now. It is a long run up here. A lot of construction, but it was on the other side of the road, thank God. And now I'm heading back through there. Oof. Anybody has a question or a topic, just throw it out there. Gas is a little pricier up here. I think it was $2.89 this last week. But between here and that area down south, you get into Ohio, there's a couple places gas was like $2.30. So big difference. So when you see it like that, that's when you have to top off. It's currently showing 73 degrees outside, which isn't bad, all things considered. Is there anybody from Detroit on here? I'll tell you what it's normally like up here, because I don't really know this area. I've been around Michigan, the countryside, and it's absolutely gorgeous. You get up north. I've never hit the Upper Peninsula, but I have been around this area and out into the country, and it was actually really, really nice. Literally, I dropped at a Ford plant here, I don't know, a month and a half ago. And they've had a problem with people stealing cars, new cars. They get in and grab and drive off. They put these big fences around the places they park the new cars, and then people jump in the cars and drive through the fence. So they put up concrete barriers, and they put a gate up with a guard, and then they drive through the gate. So now, when I was up here, there was a gate that goes up and down with a guard, and somebody who sits in a full-size truck and only moves out of the way long enough for a car to leave that's supposed to be leaving, and then backs up. So that guy's job is literally to pull forward and back up all day long, guarding the gate from somebody trying to ram their way out. That's how ridiculous it's gotten with car thefts. Closed. Hoo-ah. This is southbound on, I think I'm on 94, and I'm getting ready to branch off on 96 west out of town. And I still need somebody to tell me how to play music on here that I'm allowed to play. Stop squeaking. Lovely roads we're having today. I guess this is normal for a snowy climate. Come on, turn off. Towards Chicago, the sign says. Yeah, I got an idea. Why don't you pull in front of me and slam on the brakes? Thanks. You know, you could use that lane. Earthquake in Colorado. And I grew up in Colorado, and I don't recall ever hearing the words earthquake and Colorado being mentioned in the same sentence. So that's weird. Do it, dude. You can do it. You can do it. This is the easy part. This is where we drive in a straight line. Toyota Crown. Never heard of it. Wow. Yeah, dude, quit playing with your phone. Hey, look at that, a car in front of you. What do you know? This is going to make for a long day. I have to stay in this lane because I got exactly 2 miles to go for my turnoff. I don't have the luxury of moving away from it. I was sitting next to a guy at a traffic light once. He was in the turn lane. I was in the pole position. He gets a green arrow, and he doesn't move, and he doesn't move, and he doesn't move. And I look over at him, and he's texting away. And I watched him, and the light turned yellow, and the light turned red. In a split second, it turned red. His eyes flashed up and back to the screen. Wow, dude. Pay attention. Being that I was on the north side of town, I was kind of thinking this traffic was going to throw me out straight west instead of dragging me into town again. People think about truck driving or expediting, they think about the wide open highways and playing music and enjoying the sunny day. They don't think about this. No, I certainly didn't. I'm out of Texas, and we have bridges of concrete. A lot of the bridges here are steel. A lot of them are old school girders and whatnot. This one isn't really old, but there's quite a few of them down here that are super old, like turn of the century design that I kind of like. It kind of looks cool. Of course, you see it every day, you wouldn't notice it, but as an outsider, it stands out. Well, this is ultra boring. I'm going to go ahead and jump off. I'm going to come back on here in a little while. I got to call the boss.